So consciousness is not, oh, we're all love and light 24/7. That's not human nature. It's being conscious of when we find ourselves activated, right? And we go, okay, I recognize that I have a shadow within me, because every human being on the planet has the shadow within them. And going, what am I going to do? Which part of me am I going to feed? And how am I going to handle this situation? The more conscious we become, the more aware we become of our emotions, the spectrum of human emotion, and we learn to respond in kind, right? So if we see, okay, I'm fearful in this moment, I recognize it. Is it really a situation that calls for fear? Or am I bringing preconceived notions to this situation, right? And so the more conscious we become, the more aware we are of our feeling state, and the less bound we are to it. Because most people, I talk about this a lot with clients, we react to our emotions like hot potatoes. I'm upset, I'm anxiety driven or ridden, I don't want to feel this way, I'm going to offload it, right? I'm going to throw it onto that person, make them feel worse because I don't like the way this feels inside me. The way to handle that is to go, I feel what I'm feeling. I'm going to actually lean into it. I'm not taking action based on it, but I'm going to lean into the feeling. And in doing that, it starts to dissipate, right? Or I'm going to take an action step, i.e. writing it out, journaling it out, and getting that anxiety outside of myself, that fear outside of myself. So I'm not taking action against another person unnecessarily. So a lot of the work that I do is, and a big passion of mine, is self-awareness, self-discovery, and particularly around human nature. We all have the shadow, we all have darkness, we all get afraid, we all get scared, we all experience joy, we all experience connection. So where are we coming from inside of ourselves? And what are the choices that we're making? And it's something I have to work on every single day. Every single human being has a spectrum of emotion, right? And we can ascend, we can rise, we can do all of that, but it doesn't mean we're not going to get triggered on subtler and subtler levels. It's just part of being on the planet. Otherwise, what are we doing here if we're not growing and learning? You're never going to change anyone's mind. The only way that people start to shift is when they either get fed up with their own inner experience or they recognize a quality in someone else that they want to cultivate more of. So yelling at, screaming at, trying to convince, these don't work. They just don't work. What works is standing true in your belief system, in your integrity, and having an open heart and compassion. And, people who are filled with angst and hate, that's a reflection of what's going on inside of them, right? So that's the kind of spiritual perspective, to recognize that they are in deep pain, because people who are more peaceful inside themselves don't lash out in that way. They take personal responsibility. So, the work just it's become more important maybe than it's ever been, but it's always the same thing that it's always been, right? Human nature is human nature. It's Shakespearean in a way. Our country is deeply, deeply divided in some ways, but human beings are human beings. And I do believe that most people want the same things. They want to know that their children can grow up safe. They want food on the table. They want to be healthy. They want to live in peace and prosperity, and they want love, right? How different factions of society believe going about that is the right way, that's the deeper question. But I deeply believe at our core, we're all the same. Maya Angelou has that amazing quote: people won't remember what you said, and they won't remember what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And I don't succeed at this all the time, not by any means, but I guess my hope or my intention is that people leave their experience of spending time with me, however short or however long, feeling a little bit more at ease within themselves and more accepting of themselves and therefore others, and that they feel seen. I think most people really want to be seen and they don't feel seen.